The Las Vegas Raiders on the road at the Cincinnati Bengals. This is 7.5 in favor of Cincinnati at home. 45.5 is our total. We do get word coming through right before we started recording this. T. Higgins is going to be doubtful, which means out, because if you're doubtful, you're out. And Mo, that almost removes any interest for me with Cincinnati, because if you're betting on Cincinnati, you're just betting on the offense because the offense is so incredible, and Joe Burrow is number one in the NFL in basically every single advanced metric that you can look at. You start to go to adjusted EPA, regular EPA, you go all the stuff that he's been able to do. But now you get it where he doesn't have that other guy. And I think we saw that come into play last week, where it was Chase did his thing until the defense made the adjustment, decided, never mind, Chase isn't going to just beat us solely. And I'm not saying the Raiders have the personnel to get that done or whatever necessarily, but they got to win by 8 points, right? It's a touchdown. I think this probably just be a sit back and watch for me.
Well, I don't envy your eyeballs then, but this game is just, it's basically what you said for me. Yeah. The splits are so stark this year. The Bengals were basically a terrible team without T. Higgins to start the year. T. Higgins comes back. They look halfway decent. I'm not going to say good because the opposition they were beating was pretty dreadful. And then T. Higgins goes out again, and they just get absolutely steamrolled by Philadelphia at home. I know that a lot of that was the defense, but the offense was ground to a complete halt. Like you said, I think they just made some adjustments. The way I would compare it to, which is what I was talking about with the boys on Gridiron Gamble, it seems like T. Higgins, I know that Jamar Chase is probably a better player than T. Higgins, but this might be a situation with comparing it to an NBA 3-point shooter who just is out there, has gravity from the defense, and opens up space for everybody else on the field, because this offense does not look the same without him. The other teams can just kind of bracket Jamar Chase and live with whatever bum tight ends are going to catch eight passes a game from Joe Burrow and just be fine with it. I don't know how the Raiders offense is going to look here, though. It looked a lot better last week with Jacoby Myers. I think that he makes a material difference when the other wide receivers are this bad. But at the same time, this Bengals defense has gotten trucked on the ground, and the Raiders have the worst rushing attack in modern NFL history. So yes. I don't know how that matchup is going to go.
Yeah, it's not the let's just see how much this team can. No, it is actually two horrible units going up against each other. It's who can out horrible the other is basically what we're going to see here in this one. And I also have this weird conspiracy stuff going on where it's hey, look, does Cincinnati come to the conclusion that this season is lost? Do they get rid of T. Higgins on the trade deadline? You're hearing Vegas is floating Jacoby Myers out there. How much of a role is he play in this one? Does he get a reduced snap count? Because I don't know. This is all rumor type stuff that's going on, but I think if you're being a smart organization, you should probably at least think all of this stuff through as well. So yeah, for me, this is a game I'm glad to just kind of put on a rocket and fire into the sun, because I don't have anything really to do.